No creak of ancient floorboards, no clang of ceremonial swords. Only the soft whir of a shredder in Kensington Palace devouring the last embossed invitation addressed to His Royal Highness the Duke of York. The future king stands over it in shirt sleeves, watches the thick parchment curl into confetti, and lets the image brand itself into memory, the moment the erasure began. For months William has stalked corridors with a quiet vengeance, compiling a dossier thicker than a leather-bound Debrett's. He knows every alias, every trust account, every helicopter manifest that placed Andrew in paradise hotels while taxpayers footed trade envoy bills. He has the abandoned briefing memos warning Foreign Office officials that associating Britain's flag with Jeffrey Epstein might end in reputational Chernobyl. He has the maintenance survey of Royal Lodge, black mold, falling plaster, cracked stucco, each defect a metaphor for moral decay. And he has clicked safely on an encrypted flash drive, the off-record testimony that Andrew muttered a coarse joke about Catherine on a 2012 grouse shoot, a joke William would rather excise than forgive. Now the Duke's disgrace threatens more than private disgust. It menaces the viability of a slimmed-down monarchy William intends to steer through the algorithm age. With Charles fighting cancer under the glare of chemo lamps, with an counting down to an 80-year throttleback, with Harry gone west and Andrew unreformable, the heir perceives only two options: cauterize the wound or bleed out in public view. So the blueprint crystallizes into three concentric rings of annihilation. First ring, optics. Andrew will receive no place in the coronation liturgy. Aides rehearse a procession chart, with his coach route inked over in cold grey. Household cavalry bandmasters delete the troop call Duke of York Quick March. Military tailors remove his measurements from new uniforms. On the day Britain crowns William V, the cameras will pan an immaculate sequence. Guards in scarlet, bishops in cloth of gold, Wales children blinking under diamonds. Then a deliberate gap of air. A negative space where viewers will recall the absent uncle and supply their own condemnation. Second ring, honors. Letters patent already drafted will revoke Andrew's knighthood of the Garter. The heralds prepare a midnight extraction. When tourists next file through St. George's Chapel, they will find stall number 12 sealed by an oak panel, the brass nameplate melted down, banner and helm removed to an archive labeled, relinquished for cause. Guides will murmur the new cautionary legend. Some virtues are non-transferable. Third ring, identity. Here, the scalpel touches bone. A draft statute titled Titles Deprivation, Modernization, Bill rests in the safe of the Clerk of the Parliaments. The text cites, sustained conduct inimical to the dignity of the Crown and empowers the Sovereign, on advice of ministers, and with both houses concurring, to strip any royal style from a descendant of George V. Legal counsel confirm precedent. The 1917 Act that erased Teck and Battenberg dukes for mere enemy bloodlines. Andrew's offences, the draft argues, are reputational war crimes in a century fought on screens. William's private secretary assembles a timetable. First reading 5 weeks after accession, committee stage accelerated under the Parliament Acts. Royal assent before William's first Christmas message. Once the ink dries, the court circular will cease, Her Royal Highness the Duke of York, and print, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, Esquire coats of arms recalled, ducal coronet withdrawn, precedence collapsed to that of a marquis's younger son. Security downgrades follow, funding responsibilities transferred to private purse. 2 Metropolitan Police officers, veterans of royal protection, quietly request reassignment before the paywall hits. What of Royal Lodge? The Crown Estate's 75-year lease contains a forfeiture clause for conduct bringing less majesty than befits Crown lands. A King's Council, consulted in secret, deems it actionable. Bulldozers will not arrive overnight. The optics must avoid cruelty, but William envisions transformation. The mansion reborn as a leadership academy for Commonwealth scholars, dormitories where Andrew's gamekeepers used to polish stirrup irons. The heir imagines unveiling the plaque beside Princess Charlotte, 13 years old and newly appointed patron. A generational inversion, rot transmuted into renewal. Charles resists only one edge of the blade. The father still sees the boy who shadowed him down the mall in 1953, blonde fringe bobbing under a toy bearskin. But the king also clutches survey dossiers revealing how quickly public mood turns caustic. Privately he concedes, when duty and blood diverge, duty endures. In royal lodges' shadowed corridors, Andrew plots procedural lifelines. A Pearson v. Secretary-General challenge at the ECHR, a petition citing Magna Carta liberties, a whisper campaign about slippery slopes that might one day threaten Harry's children, or Princess Beatrice's unborn heir. Yet donors vanish. One trust fund freezes, a Swiss lender invokes moral turpitude clause. The Duke's final gambit, threatening memoir, crumbles when legal advisors warn discovery would expose emails better left entombed. Palace staff call the coming spectacle project Ghost Coach. They rehearse filming angles to ensure the empty slot in the coronation convoy reads as intentional, not logistical error. Social media war rooms prepare infographics, Windsor lineage, duties fulfilled, charitable hours logged, contrasted with Andrew's void. The goal: inoculate viewers against cynicism by demonstrating addition through subtraction. Republicans prick their ears. Abolishing one prince, they say, proves titles are dispensable, abolish the rest. William gambles that decisive pruning stabilizes the tree. After all, pruning extended his grandmother's reign. She excised Uncle David's abdication taint by example of relentless duty. He will excise Andrew's by wielding Parliament's scalpel. The heir's confidant, an RAF comrade, recalls him saying during Arctic survival training, if a teammate goes hypothermic, you cut the rope. Sentiment kills the rest of the line. The monarchy is the rope now, dangling over a crevasse of social media derision. William is ready with the knife, convinced that mercy for one can equal murder for millions of believers in the institution's worth. When the deed is done, the man once introduced to world leaders as a prince of the realm will sign hotel registers with bare initials. His daughters will still hold Her Royal Highness, but letters obsolete the moment they scrawl a return address, Minus of York. Windsor law will list him among anomalies. Edward VIII, Princess Diana's lost Her Royal Highness, proof that even blue blood turns invisible when the crown wills it. On the eve of Parliament's vote, Westminster's lamps will burn past midnight. Some MPs will wince at the precedent. Some Tories whisper about civil war within a family already fraying. Yet the division bell will ring, and the eyes will patch a hemorrhage that polls show 2/3 of Britons wish stanched yesterday. Outside, fans will cluster at palace railings, searching the flagpole for signals. They will not see the document William signs in charcoal ink. Let it be proclaimed that Andrew Albert Christian, Edward Mountbatten Windsor, shall henceforth carry no style nor dignity appertaining to the blood royal. The stroke finishes, a blotter hovers, lineage rewrites itself in heartbeat silence. Weeks later, under a cathedral of military colors, William V will approach the throne. Ceremonial gold will flash against regiments marched in flawless cadence. No one will mention the missing carriage, but the empty hinge in the procession will tell every watcher, this is a reign that begins with subtraction, with one ghost excised, so the house might stand square against the storm. The new king will hold orb and scepter, but the sharpest power he wields will remain the unseen blade that severed a scandal before it could strangle the realm. In quiet moments, historians will file the purge under necessary cruelty, an echo of Henry VIII's attainders, Victoria's Hanoverian excisions, Elizabeth II's iron grip on divorce. The monarchy survives not because it cannot bleed, but because it bleeds swiftly, then cauterizes. William understands. Andrew will understand too, when the new envelope arrives, plain white, unsigned, a single line inside. Coach cancelled. Title revoked. Goodbye.